You won't believe what just happened in Alaska. President Trump and Putin met face to face for the first time since this whole Ukrainian nightmare began. And let me tell you, the results are absolutely shocking. I'm Andrew Meet Rich, your former state media analyst turned independent truth teller, and today we're diving deep into the most consequential diplomatic meeting of our time. But wait until you hear what Putin said next, and what Chancellor Mertz is doing behind the scenes. It's going to blow your mind. Here's the thing that's driving me absolutely crazy. Trump flew all the way to Alaska thinking he could broker peace in Ukraine. 3 hours they talked, 3 whole hours. And you know what came out of it? Absolutely nothing concrete. No ceasefire, no peace deal. Just Putin playing games like he always does. But here's where it gets even more insane. Putin had the audacity to suggest their next meeting should be in Moscow. Can you imagine the optics of that? If you're as outraged as I am about what's happening to our world, smash that like button right now. Subscribe and hit the bell because mainstream media won't tell you these uncomfortable truths. Comment below and tell me what you think about Putin's chess moves, because this is just the beginning of something much bigger and much darker. And now listen carefully to what Germany's new Chancellor Friedrich Merz is saying about this whole Alaska circus. Remember, this is the same Merz who just broke Germany's 75-year-old firewall against working with far-right parties. The man literally collaborated with the Alternative for Germany party to pass migration laws, and now he's telling us Europe should follow America's lead on Ukraine? Give me a break. Mertz basically said that the United States will play the decisive role in resolving this war, not Europe. Here's where it gets worse. He's telling Europeans not to overestimate themselves. Can you believe this? The man who's supposed to lead Europe's strongest economy is essentially admitting that Europe is powerless without American permission. This is exactly the kind of weak leadership that got us into this mess in the first place. But wait, there's a shocking twist coming. Mertz also said that peace negotiations without a preliminary ceasefire could be justified if they lead to quick agreements. Translation: he's already preparing to sell out Ukraine if it means getting this war off the headlines. Just imagine that for a second. The leader of the free world's economic powerhouse is ready to negotiate away Ukrainian sovereignty for political convenience. Here's where the pattern becomes crystal clear, and you're going to be absolutely furious when you hear this. While Trump and Putin were playing diplomatic theater in Alaska, real Ukrainians were still dying from Russian missiles. During their 3-hour peace talk, Russian forces launched attacks on Ukrainian cities. Let me repeat that. Putin was literally shaking hands with Trump while his military was murdering civilians. And what did Trump do? He came out of that meeting saying there's no deal until there's a deal, which is basically political speak for we accomplished absolutely nothing. But here's the kicker. Trump then went on Fox News and said it's really up to President Zelensky to make the deal. You see what's happening here? They're setting up Ukraine to take the blame when this whole peace process inevitably collapses. Meanwhile, Zelensky wasn't even invited to these talks. The man whose country is being destroyed, whose people are being slaughtered, and he's sitting at home while Trump and Putin decide his nation's fate. This is exactly the kind of 19th century power politics that led to 2 world wars. Are we really going to let history repeat itself because some politicians want photo opportunities? Now let me tell you about the economic warfare that's happening right under our noses, because this connects directly to everything we just discussed. Poland has reimposed border controls with Germany, and the economic devastation is already beginning. That beautiful market in Slubice, right on the German border, used to be a symbol of European unity and cross-border prosperity. Now it's becoming a ghost town. Sales have dropped by 80%. 80%. Polish vendors are paying rent, but customers can't get through because people are waiting in traffic jams for up to 2 hours just to cross the border. This is what happens when politicians choose fear over freedom, when they prioritize political theater over people's livelihoods. And the worst part? This border situation was completely predictable and completely avoidable. Here's what really makes me angry. While politicians like Mertz are breaking democratic norms and collaborating with extremists, ordinary people are suffering. German customers can't afford to wait 2 hours just to buy cheaper groceries in Poland. Polish families are losing their income because fear-mongering politicians decided that destroying the European dream was worth a few extra votes. What do you think? Comment below if you've experienced these border delays yourself. But here's where it gets even more bizarre, and this is going to sound like science fiction, but it's absolutely real. In Tasmania, scientists are building something called the black box of Earth. Picture this, a 10-meter tall steel monolith designed to survive the collapse of human civilization. This thing is recording everything, from ocean temperatures to political decisions, from news stories to social media posts, everything that's happening to our planet right now. And here's the terrifying part. The creators openly admit that if we don't start acting now, this black box will simply document our extinction. Think about that for a moment. Scientists are so convinced that we're heading towards civilizational collapse that they're building a permanent record for whoever or whatever comes after us. This isn't some Hollywood movie. This is real life in 2025. You want to know what's really insane? While world leaders are playing games in Alaska and politicians are breaking democratic traditions for votes, scientists in Tasmania are literally preparing for the end of the world. They expect this thing to run for centuries without maintenance, powered by solar energy, recording humanity's final chapter. What does that tell you about where we're actually heading? And now for the absolutely mind-blowing part about how justice works in modern Britain, because this will make your blood boil. A restaurant owner in Britain gets robbed at 4 in the morning, security cameras catch the whole thing, and you know what the police tell him? Send us the video by email. They didn't even bother showing up to the crime scene because the criminals were already gone. Let me repeat that. British police are too lazy to investigate robberies, but they'll show up at your door in the middle of the night if you post something they don't like on social media. This is the same country where people get arrested for tweets, but actual criminals get investigated via email. The insanity of this situation perfectly captures everything that's wrong with Western priorities right now. Here's the pattern you need to understand. Whether it's Trump making deals with Putin, Mertz collaborating with extremists, or British police ignoring real crime while policing thoughts, our institutions are completely backwards. They're more concerned with controlling information than protecting people, more interested in political optics than actual justice. This is what the collapse of Western civilization looks like from the inside. So here's what this all means for you and your family, because everything we've discussed today is connected by one terrifying thread. Our leaders have completely abandoned their responsibility to protect democracy, prosperity, and basic human dignity. From Alaska to Berlin to Britain, we're watching the systematic destruction of everything our ancestors built. Trump's Alaska meeting was political theater that accomplished nothing while people died. Merz's collaboration with extremists has broken Germany's post-war democratic consensus. Border controls are destroying European unity and economic prosperity. Scientists are literally building monuments to human extinction. And police ignore real crime while persecuting thought criminals. But here's the thing that gives me hope. You're here, you're awake, you're demanding the truth instead of comfortable lies. Every time you like this video, every time you subscribe, every time you share these uncomfortable truths with your friends and family, you're fighting back against the propaganda machine. You're part of the resistance against this madness. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never stop questioning the official narrative. Subscribe right now if you haven't already, because we're going to keep exposing these lies no matter how uncomfortable they make the establishment. Hit that notification bell and comment below with your thoughts, because together we can still save our civilization from the politicians who are destroying it. The truth is our weapon, and we're going to keep using it.